Okay, as of September 15th, 92,425 successful projects on Kickstarter as of September 15th. The key thing to note is where the success lies. The success lies in projects that are really small, between 1,000 and 10,000. So just, everybody focuses on this bar, the 121 projects on Kickstarter that have raised over $1 million. But out of 92,425 projects, there have only been 121 that have raised over $1 million. So what I tell everybody, and I was talking to Musa last night about this. Musa has an energy company that creates energy from solid waste, a technology that's been proven overseas. They are looking to crowdfund that technology to bring it to the U.S., okay? And what I tell him is, look at this chart. Look at this table. Don't focus on this bar. You might get here. You might, and there is a way to get here. One of the books that I've written is the top 50 crowdfunding campaigns. And we looked at those campaigns in search of the algorithm. There is an algorithm for $1 million plus crowdfunding campaigns. There is. And that's what we tried to outline in the book. But most people should start off in this bar. Start in the high probability sector. Learn here and then move down the chain. Okay? The keys to crowdfunding. I'm going to give to you guys, I'm going to tell you what we've discovered are the keys to crowdfunding. All right? Number one, authenticity. Number two, demonstrable innovation. Why am I going to crowdfund something if I can get that product at Kmart or at Target or at Walmart? I'm not going to do that. But if you have a product that is demonstrably innovative, I will crowdfund that. Let me say to the Fundrise people, this is one reason why crowdfunding works for real estate. Because each new real estate project is a new real estate project. It's a new building. It is demonstrably innovative with respect to the physical layout of a city. So that's one reason why they've been so successful. The third point with respect to successful crowdfunding is validation. Authentication, demonstrable innovation, and validation. Validation is, I can do with the money what it is I told you I'm going to do with the money. Authentication, which I didn't explain, it's just that I am who I say I am. I'm not some 16-year-old kid sitting in the basement in Russia. I am who I say I am. And the social media is what enables you to efficiently and effectively determine the identity of the people who are crowdfunding. That's why it works. So those are the three keys as we've uncovered them over the course of the years that we've been doing research. So moving on, key trends. All right, Kickstarter and Indiegogo continue to dominate the space. More startups are hiring specialists to run their crowdfunding campaign. It's a skill. There is a skill set that is being developed in this space. Corporate America is beginning to utilize crowdfunding. Kia, Kimberly-Clark, use crowdfunding to test the market for new products. The thing we are seeing is a broadening of crowdfunding. This is from the Chicago Tribune, September 15th. Chicago teachers and parks turn to crowdfunding because there's no money in the budget for special projects that they want to do. And here's the other key to keep in mind with respect to this bullet point. What are they crowdfunding? They're crowdfunding demonstrably innovative projects and people. Okay? They're doing stuff that's outside of the box. It's a great way to surface innovation. That's what we're seeing. Now, Orange, financial company in Europe, is bringing mobile crowdfunding to Africa. Another key trend, leapfrogging. They're using the technology, both the financial technology and the technology, to leapfrog so that they can enhance financial and social return in regions that have been notoriously left out of the funding cycle. The Commissioner for Financial Services and Capital Markets, Jonathan Hill, in the EU, indicated that he was very positive with respect to crowdfunding, and that the EU was going to take a light approach to crowdfunding. I think that's right. I think that's right. That's a lesson for you guys at the end of the table, the SEC. They're moving on this stuff. The way this works is that when you have technology that is this enabling, combined with the networks that allow you to lower the cost of information search, it has the potential to really be revolutionary. That's what the EU is actually saying. And one of the more important things I wanted to talk about today, again, for my friends at the SEC, there was a crowdfunding campaign that was ruled a scam, right? And it was determined that the crowdfunders had to pay back everybody who donated to that crowdfunding campaign. All of the concern about fraud and crowdfunding, it's nonsense. The nature of the technology serves to limit and lower the risk of fraud. I'm going to look at your Facebook page, I'm going to look at your Twitter page. If your brother won't donate to your crowdfunding campaign, I'm not going to. And I can find out who your brother is because I'm looking at your Facebook assets. I'm looking at your social network. And I'm determining where the key people are in your social network, and I'm using that as an indicator to calculate the probability of fraud. That's what's going on. And I'm doing that efficiently. I'm doing that effectively. I'm doing that instantaneously. Okay? Something you couldn't do 20 years ago. So, we're already seeing the market handle the fraud issue. Therefore, all of the concerns about fraud, and I am friend of the court there's a case at the U.S. District Court of Appeals where the state of Montana and the state of Massachusetts have sued the SEC to prevent them from pushing forward on Title IV of crowdfunding, which allows up to $50 million to be raised. Their main complaint is that the SEC has preempted the state rights and that there is an elevated risk of fraud. What this says is that the state of Montana and Massachusetts are crazy. They are absolutely wrong. It's not an issue. They misunderstand both the nature of social network and social networking technology and the nature of the crowdfunding technology. It's a double fault. At least that's what I'm going to be claiming in mine. And one of the last key current trends in crowdfunding. Indiegogo, the #2 crowdfunding platform, is getting ready for equity crowdfunding. When I interviewed them for my book on crowdfunding, it was clear to me then, in 2012, that they were pushing forward and they were looking forward to being able to do equity crowdfunding. All of their experience, all of the things, all of the strategies that they had told me about in 2012. We're moving toward this point. This is where they want to be. They want to do equity crowdfunding. In addition to donations-based crowdfunding, sure. You know, that's the icing on the cake. But think about where the value is in any crowdfunding platform. Where's the value? Why is Indiegogo worth $1 billion? Indiegogo and Kickstarter is probably worth $2 billion. Indiegogo is probably worth $1 billion. Why? The valuation resides with the list of email addresses that they've collected over the course of the past 5 years of people who will go into their pockets and make donations to crowdfunding campaigns. Rather than sorting and searching through 2 billion email addresses, Indiegogo has a list of about 2 million of people who have actually donated. That is worth $1 billion. That is worth $1 billion. That's where the value is in all of these platforms. Same thing with Fundrise. Fundrise has an email list of people that have actually invested in real estate projects. And they can sort it and break it out for you by type of project, geography, all kinds of other stuff. That's worth a lot of money. Can I have that list? Y'all got that list? Would you email that to me? He's like, no problem. If I had that list, think about what I could do. I could raise $10 million tomorrow if I had that list with the right project, with the right asset, okay? But as we're discovering, having the right asset, having the right idea is not the issue. Final point. Here's what we're seeing. There is a huge, huge increase in innovation and creativity in this country, and actually in other countries too. It is a competitive advantage that any country can grab right now. That's why I'm standing here in the Italian embassy talking about crowdfunding. Because you guys recognize that there's a whole, there are all kinds of entrepreneurs in your countries that have not been able to access small amount, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. In the grand scheme of things, a $56 trillion economy, it's nothing. It's nothing. But you can come up with an idea, raise $100,000 and create a world-class changing product. And the Pebble Watch, everybody know what the Pebble Watch is? Pebble Watch raised $10.2 million on Kickstarter. And all it was, this was in 2012, all it was a watch that synced into your iPhone. It was the first smart watch. They created the frickin' category with $10 million. Now Apple's in, Samsung is in, everybody and their brother, they created that industry, that category. Think about what crowdfunding is going to enable 10 years down the road. What types of industries, what types of innovations are we going to see 10 years down the road? I really do think it is completely game-changing. So that's why we've been pushing forward on crowdfunding so aggressively. And this is confirmation of what we've been saying. Now, Title III of the Jobs Act. All right, here it is. The short title is Capital Raising Online While Deterring Fraud and Unethical Non-Disclosure Act of 2012. That's Title III of the Jobs Act. Did I get that right, SEC? By the way, did I get that right? Okay? Thank you very much. So I'm going to beat up on those. They know I've been merciless with the SEC. What Title III allows you to do is to raise up to $1 million in equity or debt financing using specialized crowdfunding platforms, and all it is really is an exemption from certain disclosure requirements. It's a technicality, it's a technical change to the securities laws that allows you to actually raise this money online using these platforms. And by the way, the crowdfunding exemption is broadly available to even very large Kia, Kimberly-Clark, and very old firms, okay? Broadly available, according to the law itself. So, now will they use it? I don't know. The definition of companies that should use Title III are emerging growth companies, and they have less than $1 billion in revenue, but that doesn't limit a very old company that has less than $1 billion in revenue, a daycare center, a restaurant, from raising up to $1 million using Title III of the Jobs Act in equity capital. And Title III, unfortunately, has not been fully implemented yet. My contention is, and this is what I've said in all of the amicus briefs that I've filed, my contention is that the SEC has not approved it because they seek to protect large financial institutions. Goldman Sachs does not want $1 million. Why would Goldman Sachs want little companies to be able to raise $1 million in equity capital online? They don't. Why would Goldman Sachs, why would Bank of America want some black company in Southeast with a game-changing technology like Moose's to be able to raise $1 million? They don't. Okay? That's the other way in which crowdfunding is disruptive. It will open the door to people, groups, who have been shut out of the traditional capital markets and institutions. So I don't know how late the SEC is in approving Title III. According to the law, they were supposed to implement the regulations 365 days after the law had been passed. That would have placed it in somewhere in 2013, when they were supposed to have implemented written the regs and the rules, gotten everything out, allowed you to do Title III crowdfunding. We are now something like 900 days beyond that legislative, legal requirement with respect to implementing Title III of the Jobs Act. Imagine if you were 900 days late on a project that your boss gave you. Would you still have that job? No. I know I wouldn't. I know I certainly wouldn't. But the SEC has delayed this, or it just hasn't worked. And again, I understand there are a lot of issues. Fraud is a concern. My question is, where were these guys in 1998? Where were these guys when Lehman Brothers was tearing up the markets? Bear Stearns, Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, Wells Fargo, targeting black homeowners in Prince George's County for subprime loans. My cousin, AAA rated credit, lives in PG County, couldn't get a regular loan in PG County. Wells Fargo gave him a subprime loan. Where was the SEC's concern about fraud then? You know, where were all of these concerns about fraud? So what we're seeing is crowdfunding is a reaction to that lack of efficiency in the financial marketplace. This is a new term here, lack of ethical efficiency in the financial marketplace. Technology allows you to do this sort of thing. It's a great way to surface innovation. People have used it brilliantly. We've seen it work. We know it works. To basically bring forward new products and services. It is going to continue. Any country with a modest communications infrastructure and a modest financial services technology infrastructure can utilize this technology to bring forward great innovation. That's what we're seeing. So, those are my comments. Again, apologies to the SEC, but you're here, all right? You're here. I'm going to beat up on you a little bit. But I guess we'll do questions later, or yeah, okay, very good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And yeah, as I said, I was sure you were going to warm up the floor. And it was by coincidence that the next speaker was supposed to be the SEC. So maybe you started a way of very